Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
But inside is so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Um,
That's right, folks. It's season 5 of Christmas in July, but you all don't care about Christmas in July. You care about the marvelous web series created by Joshua Thomas and company known as Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real world.
yeah.
Woo! All right, folks. So those of us, I'm going to be manning the chat here. I am Tiki, one of the co-hosts here, along with my good pal BlueDragonFive.
Present.
And basically what we're going to be doing is Dragon and I have been working for the past couple weeks on a hypothetical Christmas pitch for a Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real world Christmas episode. But this isn't just any Christmas episode, is it?
No. It's specifically a Christmas in July pitch.
That's right, folks. So to fit with the actual sub-series that this is on, Christmas in July is going to be the theme of the episode, and I would dare I say, like, it could almost probably be the title of the episode if we're going to be. We don't usually come up with titles, but
Well, it would be very befitting, but maybe like it directly can Xmas in July. I don't know.
Xmas in July, Harley. All right.
So,
Okay, so Dragon, I want to get into this pitch as soon as possible, but you have some background. But before I do that, just going to shout out some folks in the chat. Just Giggle It says, everyone loves Christmas in July. And Just Giggle It also says, my B-Day is in July. So happy soon to be B-Day, Just Giggle It. Or maybe happy, recent birthday. I digress. Then also, Kaylin Scott says, you guys are so cool. Thank you, Kaylin. I very much appreciate that.
Yeah, that's very nice of you. Thanks.
All right. Okay, Dragon, set us up here. Get us into gear.
So let me provide some clarity here. If there's anyone just kind of watching this for the first time, kind of scratching their heads. So as Tiki said, we do Christmas in July. It's the 5th season. Traditionally we talk about the seasonal TV episodes, the Christmas episodes of TV shows, and what we do is we do 2 pitches each year annually. And those 2 pitches are, one is kind of a special based on a movie, and the other one is a Christmas episode of a show that has not done a Christmas episode yet. And of course, we've done Harley Quinn the Joker versus the Real World for 2 reasons. One, we love this show, and 2, again, to help promote episode 5, the next generation. It's been retitled, folks, timely. Harley Quinn the Joker, episode 5. Watch it, get it to 1 million views so we get more episodes, and
yeah, Dragon, I totally forgot to put the link in the description. I will in post haste as soon as we finish, folks. Of course, that's kind of a tradition whenever we talk about Just Giggle It. Get that view up to episode 5. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling indeed. You know what the pipes are calling for, Dragon?
What are the pipes going for, Tiki?
1 million views on episode 5.
You're darn right. So anyway, so folks, with that in mind, see, traditionally, Tiki and I come from 2 kind of pitching mindsets. I like to fit things within the continuity as much as can. Like, you could believably buy this as like an episode of the show, and Tiki usually goes a little fanciful, and we collaborate on this. So we kind of met in the middle with that. So, we've only collaborated on the Channel Awesome pitch. We did that one time.
Which, by the way, folks, that was rather epic. That was a series of several hour-long podcasts detailing a long and drawn-out Channel Awesome biopic to be directed by Danny Boyle and starring a cavalcade of Hollywood A-listers, including Sam Rockwell, Ryan Gosling, and a host of others, but we won't get into that here.
The point is, like, this is like within like the 20 to 30 minute parameter, so I mean, it's going to be a lot shorter than...
Mona B has been watching episode 5 the whole day.
You know what's funny? I'm so glad she brought that up. I'm gonna take this opportunity to say this. So, folks, I'm gonna tease something that really helped our pitch here. Remind me of it, Tim. I'm gonna build to this. Don't. Okay. So, anyways, getting back to what I was saying here, just to lay it all out here real quick. So, anyways, we usually kind of go for that style, and we're trying to fit into the continuity. And you might be wondering, why not do just a full-blown Christmas episode? Why do Christmas in July? Well, folks, again, unfortunately, we don't have enough. we need more episodes, and the fine folks at Just Giggle It have kind of teased us, like again on the community page of like a page from episode 6, which sounds amazing, and episode 7, which of course like we really glean from that is okay, we're building the gang in episode 6, and we might be getting some poison ivy in episode 7, but it's kind of hard for us to judge what's going to be happening, where our characters are going to be months into December. It's kind of hard for us to kind of figure that out, and again try to fit within like what feasibly could happen. And we had a lot of stuff kind of cooking for July, but we did, in all fairness, we kind of felt the question out to the folks at to Joshua Thomas specifically on a live stream, and we got a very interesting response. Joshua Thomas, and I want to give him all credit. Well, I would have loved to have done this for a Christmas special, but there's a very specific reason we didn't do this. So, just to acknowledge the possibility that the way we could have gone with this.
Nate Thomas,
Joshua Thomas had
the Batman tease. I'm glad he brings that up. Just you wait, Nate Productions.
Oh yeah, we got.
Sorry, I called him Nate Thomas.
Not again.
I know. That me and my dyslexia, my would-be dyslexia.
my point is, Joshua Thomas, he had discussed this really amazing idea, kind of a classic bottle episode, kind of on the family or for the modern audience. It's kind of like the Fly episode from Breaking Bad, where it was going to be around Christmas time. Joker and Mrs. Erickson were going to go shopping for basically kind of the Turbo Man chase toy of the year for her grandson, and they were going to end up stuck in an elevator together and really have like a really cool conversation. My inference, and as Joshua Thomas hinted at, they did two reasons they didn't do this. One, because of course they ran into some production issues, hence the no Christmas episode, hence why we're all here today. And secondly, the dark ending of Mrs. Erickson dying. And I know it would have been it would be earth-shattering, but I got to tell you, I saw a great kind of Breaking Bad potential with that, of this idea, and this is what we probably would have done with it, where you have this conversation, and Joker gets in the holiday spirit, but as he kind of reveals himself in the elevator, Mrs. Erickson puts it together, and she would realize, oh my God, I'm trapped in an elevator with a killer clown, and she would probably have a panic attack and die, and that would be like the ultimate reminder of like, folks, as much as we love the Joker. He is, as much as he's kind of framed as the good guy in LA for us here, as like the protagonist, don't forget he is a monster. Let's not forget that. So again, that would have been an amazing story. But again, if they don't feel right about killing Mrs. Erickson, neither should we. So again,
of course, I also had an idea like, hey, let's just do a standalone like bottle episode set during Black Friday, and Joker's just relishing in it.
So again, some of
Game of Thrones, Hunger Games style, like, oh, I love Black Friday, Harley. It's just the happiest time of the year.
Now, we did take some of these ideas, and like some of the stuff that Joshua Thomas said in that pitch, like specifically with kind of the chase toy and some stuff that Tiki said, and some other ideas. We did kind of work it into this, but the point is we had more material for July, because July is a lot closer to where our guys are in the series at this point. And yeah, I think that's about it. I'll tease this, and then we'll get right into it. This is the big thing I was building to in the beginning here. Joshua Thomas, we give him all the credit in the world. The fine folks at Just Giggle, we were kind of looking for like an X factor in our story for our pitch, and Tiki and I were racking our brains. And Joshua Thomas, he delivered something to us. He kind of gave us like a little, little tease at the future of Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real one. Now, of course, I won't spoil that by any means, but let's just say we touched on. We got some inspiration that really kind of helped shape and kind of add the emotional oomph to our pitch. And it was like these script pages. And this is where I'm going with this, folks. I read these pages, and I swear to God, no joke, I wanted to weep at the beauty of like the Joker scene that he had written, because I thought it was so good. And I actually, in the background, what I was doing that day, I just had the Harley Quinn and Joker episode 5 episode practically on a loop. Like I muted it, and I would just be doing other things. I'd play the video again to hopefully get the view count up. I know a very futile effort, just one at a time, but hey, it counts. It's building to 1 million, folks. So I don't blame anyone just like watching that video on a loop, folks. If we have to do that to get those views up to 1 million, by all means do it. It's worth it. Trust me. If we got to make some of this beautiful stuff they got in the pipeline happen, you got to trust me on that. Okay. So again, folks, this is kind of our humble approach of like what a Christmas in July, our first ever Christmas in July pitch for an actual something. It's like the Christmas in July. Yes, we did. We were inspired by the Ed and Eddie Christmas special, Christmas in July special. If anyone's curious,
It's July.
that's the whole start of the whole idea. Christmas in July, that and the block of programming that day. So yes, it does come from that. In case anyone's wondering. Okay, so all of that said, sorry, it's a mouthful, folks. We're just gonna fire into the pitch. You ready, Tiki?
I am ready, and I hope the folks at home are ready too, because this is going to be a fun ride. Okay, so Dragon, do you want to just kind of tag team this? Because of course, Dragon and I collaborated on all of this. So who wants to go first, Dragon?
You know what? I'll start. So this is kind of our opening, folks. You know, traditionally in Harley Quinn the Joker, you have like an opening that leads to kind of the Hollywood sign ha 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 moment. And bear in mind all this, folks. Again, there's a bit of a rough draft mentality. So again, don't judge us too harshly. It's kind of a humble fan pitch, but we're proud of it.
Of course.
Take it with a grain of salt. We're amateurs playing with the big boys here. Okay. So here's our opening. So we open on in a darkened bedroom, and we see these red and green flashing lights off like the cracks of the shut door. Like you can see from the outside of the door inside the dark room, and we hear these bells jingling. You know, like jingle bells, essentially. And we pan over to see Joker alone in his bed. Again, specifically, importantly, folks, I know you're thinking, just give us a minute there. We're getting there. He's alone in bed with like a Scrooge nightcap on. Again, a little kind of bigger than life. Again, kind of like kind of the fourth wall breaking costume changes we've seen in the show before. Joker's murmuring. He's murmuring in his sleep, like he's murmuring the song "Jingle Bells, Batman Smells."
Batman smells.
Importantly, he's mumbling over the Batman's kind of like our Jaws,
mumbling over the Batman. Importantly, yes.
The idea is, so far in Harley Quinn and Joker, we have not said Batman, and I think that's something important to keep, because I'm in great favor of the initial idea Joshua Thomas had laid out that, you know, we're probably not going to see Batman until the very end of the series. I'm in absolute favor of that idea. I think it's a great idea. Of course, things are always subject to change. Like maybe we'll end a season big like that, but again, I'm thinking end of the series. It's, you know, it's kind of like a Gotham payoff. You know, we wait till Batman till the very end.
People in the chat are loving this so far.
Good. So anyway, so it's like he's like jingle bells, smells, waiting again. People know like, oh my god, he's singing the song. And before he so a moment passes as he's like getting to the end of the song. A moment passes and he has like a smile, a content smile, and right before he wakes up startled, he has like a chuckle, like and he wakes up suddenly. He was just like the mid Batman. He wakes up and he looks around annoyed, and for reasons we'll get into later, he just wakes up kind of annoyed because of that dream he was having. And he's visually kind of putting two to two together. He's seeing the lights and the bells. Like that's why he's thinking about Christmas. And we reveal this. I'm proud of this. We reveal on the floor, Harley sleeping in like a sleeping bag or like an air mattress on the floor. And
I'd like to think it's like an adorable sleeping bag of some kind.
Sure. And again, the idea is, you know, we don't go fully with the whole like the Joker. Joshua Thomas is very in tune with the classic Mad Love of it all, where, you know, hey, it's you know, Joker doesn't care about Harley, but there's that little, like Paul Dini always says, like that little like shriveled up heart in the Joker deep down. He does like her. He might not like love her or care about her, but he likes her, you know. And it's like deep down he cares, but he never admit it. So he basically, instead of like
Demona B says Hello Kitty sleeping bag. Yes, I would agree to that, Demona B, if we could actually get the you know, if that wouldn't be a copyright issue, then I think that would be a good draw.
Maybe she borrowed it from Madison.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So anyway, so it's like basically instead of like full blown abuse that we've seen horrifically and stuff like Mad Love, perhaps it's just like, you know, basically Joker does all these microaggressions that are just hysterical and petty. Like she has to sleep on the floor. It's like a dog almost. She has to sleep on the floor at the foot of the bed. Let's just say the floor because it's funnier. And just it's like, wait, where's Harley? And of course, reveal. Yeah, Mr. You know, she wakes up, Harley. And she's waking up asking, "What's up, Mr. J?" And of course, God wakes up. Joker's asking, "Harley, what month is it?" Harley's response,
"It's July, Puddin', but why you ask?"
Then we cut to,
of course, folks, please forgive us for our, like, Joshua Thomas and, you know, any of the great people who have voiced Harley Quinn over the years. They're not in the room with us. I'm sorry.
Yeah, poor Arlene Sorkin and Tara Strong. Well, again, let me make this delineation. I've always said this about the wonderful Nicole Dubois, because I'm sure there's going to be some people asking the famed question, what about which Harley are we going with? Obviously, we're going with.
It's got to be Nicole Dubois, yeah.
Yes, and she's wonderful, folks. Again, I love both Harleys. I think I kind of had an epiphany with the Harley, with our Harley casting. I feel that Brianna Oppenheimer kind of sounded kind of classically like Arlene Sorkin, which of course is the Harley Quinn I grew up with. I think we all grew up with. And kind of when you think Harley, you think her. But by the same token, Nicole Dubois, she kind of is something unique and kind of fresh. Where it's I feel she communicates facially and physically in her motions more of like kind of she shows great potential as Harley, and I think. I think physically she's more Harley. She has the energy of Harley. I guess that's what I'm getting at. She's the energy of Harley, and I've always equated it to it's like the Tara Strong Harley Quinn, but mixed with Alice from the Honeymooners, like Audrey Meadows from the Honeymooners. Anyway, so they step out of the room in full costume again. Like let's not waste any time. They're in full costume again. Like whenever they enter.
Take over from here, Dragon.
Oh yeah, sure. Take over. Yeah.
All right, so they step down into the apartment and find the apartment decorated for Christmas. There's a Christmas tree, Christmas lights, and Addison is decorating in a helper elf costume.
Like the green, the little red bell, and like the little elf costume, essentially.
And then Addison, of course, the great Piper Henson, just gets up to greet them, full of quirky cheer. She's explaining, "Hi guys, I'm auditioning for a Hallmark TV movie." And it's about a woman who spends Christmas as a Santa helper while pursuing her dreams.
Basic kind of like Lifetime movie of the week stuff. Yeah, it's like it's a sort of like like she's doing this on the side to justify why essentially a Lifetime week the movie of the week thing is like styled for Christmas. Like
and Dragon, of course, because you and I are big fans of the Tom Cavanaugh Snow series, also co-starring Breaking Bad's co-starring Better Call Saul's Patrick Fabian. Maybe Addison can mention like, guys, if I get this, I get to work with Tom Cavanaugh.
And of course, Joker saying who, and Harley saying he's very good. Huh. Again, that's just this silliness. Again, if we even want to mention Tom Cavanaugh, which again, I'm all for mentioning Tom Cavanaugh.
I'm throwing that out there. It's not even in our script.
Exactly, and of course, folks, we do round about some things here because again, we can't write as well as Joshua Thomas can on this, so we're kind of approximating some of this. So again, dialogue have to fill in the blanks, like what they would say. We're approximating some of this. Anyway, keep going, Tiki.
Okay, let's see. So the decorations are basically to go method and prepare for her audition. And
well, basically, if anyone's seen Barry, we love the show Barry. If it's kind of like Addison's.
Don't get too deep cuts on this, Dragon, but
all right, that's fine. There's kind of notes for us, I suppose, more so. The point is,
we're kind of reading a script that does have notes for us, so excuse us if we get tripped up.
I mean, certain bits I had to kind of spell out the comparisons for time. So it's like the Barry. The point is, like, if anyone likes Barry, you'll get it. Otherwise, let's just keep going. So,
anyways, yeah. Then she also had the party decorations and also a Santa suit left over by either a previous tenant or a previous super.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an apartment complex. I don't know if necessarily they have a super. I assume they do. The point is like it's in like the building storage place somewhere. Hence the whole like if we need to explain certain plot elements, like where are they getting all these Christmas decorations? Well, they had them stored away.
Also, Dragon, I'm pleased to note that Just Giggle loves our Tom Cavanaugh reference.
Nice. Oh my god, I love Tom. We'll get into like a whole Flash rant of like how amazing the first season of the Flash is, and how great the season 2 is so far. I mean, for you haven't finished yet, but you're gonna love it when you get to certain parts. Anyway, Joker, just very kind of that great kind of sardonic kind of Joshua Thomas delivery. They kind of permeate to the Joker is, well, that still explains nothing. And Harley's just kind of asking kind of the intermediary questions of basically she asks kind of the main idea of the piece, like why the heck are we doing a Christmas in July thing, where she asks if it's a Christmas movie, why do it in July? And Addison explains.
And this is kind of like addressing to the audience too, it's almost kind of like a fourth wall break, like, well, actually, Harley.
Yes, and again, this was the main idea behind the whole Christmas in July thing for me. Is like basically my
Caitlin Scott's very impressed by your Joker voice, by the way, Dragon.
Oh no, believe I'm in the third shadow.
Folks, you can't compliment our voices. We're both way too modest for that.
I mean, look, my default is like kind of going for like a Mark Hamill thing. So I'll apologize if I shift between Mark Hamill and Joshua Thomas, like a bad impression of both. If I shift between those two. My apologies, but again, I'm just pulling from what I know would be like some of the finest Jokers we've gotten. Major props to Joshua Thomas. And I mean that. Anyway, so yeah, the main idea of it all here is that, and it's a fun fact, folks, that when you watch a Christmas episode or a Christmas movie, they have to shoot that in advance. So of course, it's kind of ipso facto. If we're in LA, let's kind of celebrate that sort of actors' mentality. I would imagine you had people, getting ready for shooting Christmas stuff in the summer months, for all we know. So a little kind of the little point of inspiration for all this. Aniston's an actor. Point A, point B, boom. Okay, so Joker is scoffing at the. I'll hand this back to you real shortly, T.
Okay.
So Joker's scoffing, like, that idea's crazy even by our standards. It's fake Christmas. What's the point? But as he's scoffing at this idea, and the idea is like Joker loves Christmas, but like this idea of like a fake kind of like really commercial, like real pointless Christmas. It has no point. He'll dive into more reasons beyond that a little later on. Harley, meanwhile, her eyes light up. Well, the way Nicole Dubois could make this light up. Her eyes light up, and she wants to help Addison. She suggests, how about a Christmas party? And she wants to do a Christmas party, which will definitely come back.
Oh, yeah.
And as all this is happening, Joker gets a text from Howie downstairs, and he excuses himself.
Okay. Let me take you through this.
Again, folks, this is still all the opening, by the way. We're getting to the end of the opening.
Because I love me some Alex Poncio.
Oh, Poncio!
Also, Nate Productions in the chat apparently also played the Joker.
Oh, nice.
Nate, let us know where you played the Joker. I'd be happy to shout you out.
Well, Nate, correct. Just give us like a yes or no here. Nate, was it that fan dub from the Red Hood you're referring to, which was really good? Is that what you're referring to? Well, we'll see. We'll see what he responds to.
Okay, so anyway, so Poncio, so Alex Poncio is Howie, of course. He's pumping himself up, Dragon. He's pumping himself up. He's getting himself ready. He's saying, all right, today's the day you're gonna stand up to your boss, and he's working up the nerve to ask Joker not to wear his driver's getup and hat. Okay,
so real quick, just to give it context, in case anyone for some bizarre reason has not seen any of the more of the episodes from Harley Quinn, the Joker versus the Riddler, because they're all great. Like Howie has like a self-help book of like standing up to your boss, and in the show, in episode 4, the big party episode, it ended with this really memorable bit for me where Joker was so excited to see Howie put on his driver's hat that he got for him. And I kept thinking of Curb Your Enthusiasm, where Larry David in real life he was a limo driver who hated wearing his get-up and wearing his hat, and he drove a blind woman, so he realized I don't need to wear my hat at all; she's never going to notice. So I was just kind of thinking that, or like he's working up the courage to ask his very intimidating boss, and he's like, "Oh man, I don't know about this." So he's building up the courage to ask his boss something. Again, if one day if you can stand up to your boss, you just ask him something real casual. Let's see what happens, Stevie.
The Joker is about to go into a rant. He's about to just kind of I'm sorry, let me get back to my place. He's about to fire into a rant, and then he hears jingle bells and has a light bulb moment. Yeah. And then of course, Dragon, we have all the faith in the world that Joshua Thomas and his physical acting can deliver a moment like this. He gets a smile. He gets a particular smile. He gets a Grinch smile right out of that iconic shot from the Grinch cartoon where his lips, curl up really high. And basically it insinuates the Joker had an awful idea. The Joker had a wonderful, awful idea.
And it's just like that smile that's like the smile of death, where he's all serious. It's like, he's so big about this, fire into a random, here's the jingling bells from them decorating upstairs. And it's like, because he basically learns how to, kind of take Christmas in July and use it as a way to punish Howie here. So he gets that smile, and just cut to the Hollywood sign opening. Mm-hmm. As if he's laughing at his pain, just kind of thematically, like, hey, we cut to that, so he's definitely gonna be laughing about what horrible thing he's done to Howie. So yeah.
Okay, really quick. So Kaylin, if your question is you have it all planned, yes, we've had this all planned for about a week now. We've had it all in the books, ready to go.
Yeah, you betcha. I mean, yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right, so now we're firmly in Act 1. Of course, opening goes in Act 1. Of course, that's just kind of the cool, get them in the seats, folks. Okay, so Act 1, we zoom out from the great face of Alex Poncio as this is a really sad Howie, and we reveal Basically, we reveal him in this. We zoom out from a close up of the face, and we keep zooming out. And we reveal him in a Santa suit, a full blown Santa suit. And it's in a heat wave, by the way.
Oh man.
And we basically mirror that bunny suit gag from A Christmas Story. You know, like the whole like we see him like from the feet, and then we pan up to reveal sad Ralphie in the bunny suit. We kind of do that with the zoom out with Poncio here, and just to Joker and Harley's delight. And Joker's like, what's he missing, Harley? And she's like, a list. It's just quite right, Pooh. Can't have a Santa without a list. He gives him this big laundry list, and we see like the list again. I love the list from episode 2, and it's kind of fuel on my expectations for Harley Quinn the Joker, like stuff I'd like to see him do in future episodes. I love the list idea, and we see this errand list of stuff, and we see things that relate to the Joker's stuff and stuff that relates to Harley Quinn's kind of Christmas in July stuff. So you have stuff like gunpowder, gasoline, which is a Dark Knight reference. Wrapping paper, you have baking materials, etc., etc. So it's kind of a mix of like happy holiday and horrific crime. So
also, this is exactly what Just Giggle It pictured with Howie, the Santa Claus suit. So we're really on point with this.
All right. Yes.
All right.
So Howie's response to all this, Tiki?
Howie's response is, "Boss, do I have to do this? You know, it's not even Xmas."
And Joker's getting really intimidating. He says, "My point exactly." Well, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. "My point exactly. But if you'd like to criticize my fashion sense again, by all means." You were saying. Of course, he stares him down very intimidatingly, and of course, like one of those intense musical moments, like, and just goes how we just see. "I love it, boss. Very festive. Wonderful."
All right.
We just like do a quick cut to Howie. You don't.
Yeah, Howie's walking down the streets in a Santa suit, miserable in the hot weather, and this is going to be a moment where Alex Poncio is going to have to take one for the team.
Let's just to emphasize, I'm just coming up with this one on the fly here. Let's just say maybe like Mark Sipka, just kind of get him in there like a little background cameo. Let's just say he's walking around. It's like, oh my god, it's so hot, right? Good old Mark Sipka.
So meanwhile, back at the apartment, Joker is working on stand-up material, and he's getting frustrated, and he has some internal conflict and homesickness.
Yeah, and let me clarify, folks. And I'll apologize up front here. Again, the stand-up is something that we don't really. Again, that's stuff I would love to see dealt with in the future. But we're kind of working on some guesswork of where exactly Joker is in kind of his LA kind of crusade here. Like how much of the gangs does he terrify? Has he actually gone to Flappers and performed his?
And of course, Dragon and I are both big Gaga fans of Barry, the TV show. So that's where some of this stand-up bits come from.
Like you have like an acting class on the side type stuff. So it's,
like we could imagine Joker infiltrating an acting class.
It's basically the acting class. I'm sorry, now you got me doing. Basically, the stand-up stuff of the Joker's kind of a placeholder. It's but it'll work for we do some stuff with it. So he's working on stand. We need to give Joker something to do that's non-holiday-esque. So as he's doing that, what's happening?
What's happening?
He's like mirroring the Mad Love post too, just for any of the hardcore kind of Mad Love fans there. He's like hunched over a desk, and it's like he's crumpled up, almost like the blueprints. Yes. Like this joke's
so Harley and Addison are having a really good time, and they're baking fruitcake and figgy pudding, and then we have perhaps one of the big standout lines that I'm sure Nicole Dubois would deliver perfectly. "Oh, here, have a taste of my figgy pudding."
The Joker, again, traditionally, folks, we also, with Christmas in July, like to point out kind of our tropes, and we'll do like a recap thing at the very end for a few of these. And like one thing we always have is like there's usually a Scrooge in a Christmas episode. Joker definitely fits. He definitely fits the Scrooge. We do kind of a neat little subversion of that a little later on. So Joker definitely starts off Act 1. He's a Scrooge. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. So Joker's snapping at her. He's about to snap at her, really dig his heels in, and kind of like what we saw in episode 3. Joker doesn't want to like kind of let on to Addison with this sort of thing. He's about to snap and like just like full like about to kick Harley out in her ear like in Mad Love. I don't mean to keep citing that, folks. Just kind of a perfect kind of visual kind of stimuli, I guess, if I'm thinking like what exactly I'm trying to describe. I'm thinking like an image from Mad Love. But the point is, he's about to fire into her, but he realizes Addison's in the room, and as Addison's beginning to rehearse these very generic like Hallmark lines, and I'll say Hallmark with hate because again, I do love I do like some Hallmark.
Like, it's Christmas Eve, miracles can happen.
Yeah, she's going the very generic, like very spelling out like, I know we're gonna make the Christmas deadline, something like that. And Harley suggests going out for a walk, and this is important, folks. So Harley Quinn, we really wanted to do with Harley this whole special is that, and again, it's kind of one of the big X Factor moments that I think Jeff has really brought out in this for us. Harley has a really good subtle arc in this whole thing. Harley, we definitely kind of have her as, she's still silly and bubbly as we love her, but at the same time, she's someone who does understand the Joker better than most would. I'm not saying she knows every facet about the guy, because of course that, if she knows everything, then that like she would get out under his thumb. But by the same token, like, she's so in tune with him. Like she knows, okay, my guy here needs to go for a walk because he's about to snap, and it's kind of like a sad. And again, we kind of flirt around with it, the sad kind of abusive relationship thing where, okay, I'm in an abusive relationship. My guy's about to fly off the rails. I got to calm him down or else it's going to get really bad for me. So it's kind of a bit of that kind of in the DNA of this Harley stuff here. So want to take us through this next part?
Yeah, sure. So we're walking around Hollywood Boulevard. Harley Quinn suggests a little holiday crime spree to cheer the Joker up and get over his writer's block. And this leads to a great Christmas with the Joker reference.
I had this one in from the very beginning, folks, because the animated series, it's my wheelhouse. And, of course, we had to get at least one Christmas with the Joker reference in here where it's basically... you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Okay, so Harley's suggesting, like, let's do a Christmas crime spree, and Joker's response is...
All right, what do you expect me to do? Kidnap hostages? Take over the airwaves in a Perry Como sweater? Do you realize how difficult that would be?
And Harley Quinn's responding, but Puddin', you love Christmas. Loon, it's not Christmas. And here's where we get kind of that Man Who Killed Batman performance, ideally through Joshua Thomas here. Get a bit of kind of that Mark Hamill Man Who Killed Batman performance here. We have like the great bravado of the Joker, but also kind of that subtle sadness when something's not right with the Joker. It's like it's like it fractures the guy. So it's like, you loon, it's not Christmas. And even if it was, it's not the same. Again, touch on some insecurity here. And basically, again, this is just kind of on the whole here, folks. Just kind of dancing around with the gist of this whole scene here is Joker's explaining that he dances around the fact that he doesn't feel challenged. This is the kind of the Joker's issue in the series, and this is kind of a logical kind of endpoint. I'm fearing we're going to get at some point in the show. We're going to kind of maybe get to some of this in the future. Is that he's dancing around the fact that he doesn't feel challenged since the move to LA. It's kind of that great question of can Joker be the Joker without Batman? Without your other half, can you be the Joker? It's kind of like what Tom King's doing the Batman comics now, the whole, like, can Batman be happy? It's like one of those big kind of existential questions. And it's kind of the Joker's, which, the Arkham games have kind of explored this from Batman's side, and it's kind of Joker's side of it, interestingly enough. And Joker's like, basically we can walk around unnoticed, and we have this great shot here. And again, this would be difficult to shoot, I'm sure, because you have to make sure you don't have any Batman or Jokers or superheroes on the street with this. I get it'd be difficult, but worst case scenario, you just make it not Hollywood Boulevard. But assuming it's the Star Walk, you have like all these costume guys asking for pictures and everything, and basically they can walk around in those because of the LA crazies. Like the people going around there, and just Harley Quinn and Joker can fly under the radar because compared to the next guy, they're not as crazy looking.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Joker's kind of weighing in moving here, yes, we have the anonymity that we didn't have in Gotham, essentially, without saying Gotham. But, Joker's questioning, what's L.A. really offering him? He's basically echoing that it feels more like an extended vacation than a place to put down roots, put down roots for him. And this is a big kind of thing to throw at Harley Quinn here. Like the whole, we moved to LA, and Harley Quinn was a big champion of this idea. She sent the email to Addison looking for apartments. So she's been loving the LA life. She's been loving it. And again, it's kind of getting him away from Gotham and from Batman. So it's kind of a no-brainer. So she's processing what Joker's just throwing at her here. And in classic Joker fashion, we kind of take this heavy, real adult conversation here, and it's just, he's a non sequitur. Oh my God, it's so hot. Let's get iced coffee. Just let's beat the heat. So I'm sorry.
Right, sorry, Dragon. I'm a little distracted because Just Giggle It left the live stream and people are asking how much longer this is going to go. So I'm kind of like trying to answer their questions there. So can you just keep on going?
Oh yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, sorry. That's what I get for kind of having to juggle the chat at the same time, I guess.
All right. Okay, so we cut to Howie. Howie, he's returning as they're getting my iced coffee. Howie returns with stuff from Joker and Harley's list, and he bumps into Addison. He bumps into Addison, kind of like a moment we had in the third episode, where like she thinks she misinterprets Howie in a Santa suit, bringing stuff, visiting her in the apartment, and she presumes that
Howie, how sweet. Sure. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing.
She thinks that Howie's helping her with her audition, and he's brought stuff for the party, which again is just completely not exactly the case. And Howie's just going along with it because he was going gaga for Edison, as America has, and I say I will because he's Piper Henson playing her. I mean, Piper Henson says she's so darn likable, and of course you would say, yes. And we have like a gag where Howie's starting to do like a line reading with her, and then we have this gag where Howie mishears people saying things and make him think of all the torture stuff the Joker's doing to him, and he hears her say pudding, and thinks like, oh my gosh, she called me pudding, and then she realizes, Figgy pudding, you want some? Like, no thanks, no.
It's like a little bit of like an audio fake out there.
It's kind of the tacky gag from episode
yeah.
Whole, like, tacky Howie.
God.
All right, so back at the, let's just say it's a Starbucks, just back at the coffee place, wherever.
Yeah. Okay, and I can take us through this one.
Oh, take us through.
Okay. So Joker is patiently waiting in line at the not Starbucks, and we see a really obnoxious man cut in line. And folks, if you've seen Breaking Bad, this is kind of a deep cut Breaking Bad reference, but early in season 1, there's a guy named Ken Wins. If you know what I'm talking about, great. If not, all you need to know is that he's a very kind of jerky, he's kind of like a corporate douchebag, if you will, that Walter White takes down very early on in his crime career. So anyways, this jerk, he cuts in line. He doesn't bring a tip. He berates the barista. And then a moment passes, Dragon, a moment. And then he cuts to the man hysterically begging for his life. And then we also cut to Harley Quinn drinking the iced coffee as Joker is about to do something really horrible to him.
Yes, and again, folks, like he cuts in, it's like don't cut in line in front of the Joker. It's just like this little mundane thing we love with Harley Quinn and the Joker. Just cuts in line, and then we know exactly what's going to happen, so we need to show it unfolding like we had before. We just cut to like the end result of okay, man, just hysterically begging for his life as Harley's drinking the iced coffee.
And then Harley Quinn pesters Joker like, "Well, put in it is Christmas." And, she wants to insert the holiday into it, and that aggravates him, and Joker attempts to cut the man to pieces, but the knife breaks. And that leads to a very world-weary Joker conversation on manners. And here we go, Dragon. This is one of my favorite quotes. Basically, you can do the most horrible, unspeakable things, but you have to do it with a smile and a please and thank you. And basically, of course, this man is not doing things with smiles and please and thank yous. And that is not flying well with Joker when he is in Scrooge mode.
Exactly, and we have some throwbacks here, like with when he killed Frank in the first episode, the whole like I'm just split down the middle. Of course, he's about to pull like another one, like oh, you cut in line, you cut in front of me, I'll cut in front of you, and like his knife breaks, like the knife like flies out of the thing, and just like oh, this is the worst luck, and Harley's just like trying to like nudging him on the side, like hey, spice it up, like make it like a holiday pun. Essentially, that's kind of what she's doing on the side. She's kind of like backseat kind of murdering essentially on him. Anyway, so again, she's now Harley again being kind of the MVP underneath it all here. Again, she's kind of she knows her guy here. She's nudging him into the logic that hey, the holidays bring out camaraderie and manners in everybody, and she kind of sells him on Puddin'. What's the ultimate challenge? I mean, you're looking for a challenge. Here's the ultimate challenge of making the ridiculous premise of Christmas in July kind of a fourth wall gag. I know, making the ridiculous premise of Christmas in July work. Like Mr. J. What's more challenging than getting people into the Christmas spirit around the 4th of July? Yeah, we're toying around with it being around the 4th of July. I don't really see why not, so let's just say it's around the 4th of July. Kind of makes the ending make more sense, so it's 4th of July.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Joker spins this like, Harley, I just got the best idea. What if we convince people to get into the Christmas spirit around the 4th of July?
A happy holiday heat wave. I'm so glad I thought of it. So before they leave, Joker tells Harley Quinn to Harley, take care of our rude friend. Little seasonal flair. So Harley Quinn, she performs, and we play the Nutcracker Suite behind her. She performs a literal version of the Nutcracker Suite with the bat, and basically, she kind of let's just say, she racks the guy, and Joker's wishing him Merry Christmas as the guy's in agony on the ground, and it's a cheap joke, folks, but it's got the Nutcracker in there, the Nutcracker Suite, it should be doing a ballerina,
like a hapless sacrifice to get our plot rolling.
Exactly. I think it would showcase Harley as kind of the ballerina, sort of the mallet wielding Harley we all kind of know and love. And the idea is Joker spared his life, where he would have killed him because it's Christmas, and he kind of gave him the idea. So it's you never know what's going to happen when you meet the Joker on the street. Okay, Act 2, which goes by a lot faster.
Yeah, Act 2, folks. Okay, Act 2 and Act 3 go by faster, so we should.
3's just one set piece, honestly. So it's
right. I'd say at this point, folks, we're at least halfway done with this. So
yeah.
So thank you for your patience and all of it. Okay, so Act 2, Howie drives Addison to auditions, once again in the Santa suit, very begrudgingly.
Yes, yeah, go on.
And then we see Pontio do some kind of non-dialogue acting where he feels guilty over Addison being so unaware of the Jokey and Harley Quinn exploits, the Joker and Harley Quinn exploits, and he attempts to nudge her away from that lifestyle he's trapped in. And also he likely knows that he killed Crystal. Yeah. So there's some guilt in there as well.
Again, folks, based on those script pages, I'm inclined to believe that without getting into the whole thing, I would imagine that Howie killed Crystal, but in kind of a clunky way, where he was probably going to try to spare Crystal. She woke up out of her coma and she insulted him, and therefore he kind of killed her. That's my line of thinking about what exactly happens. I think Crystal dies, just maybe not in he's no Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad. He's not just going to kind of slyly walk by in a hospital and take her out. Mm-hmm. That's what I think happened. Anyway, so the point is he's just feeling guilty regardless. So he's kind of nudging her in kind of the logic of hey, what are you going to do once you get this job? Basically saying, hey, maybe once you kind of get some successful work going again, you can move away from, you can get your own place instead of living.
Basically, he's doing everything to
save her,
to nudge her away from Joker and Harley.
That plays into the actor's vanity a little bit. Again, kind of gives he incepts the idea in her head a little bit. She's shooting for the stars. She's all full of hope. Howie genuinely wishes her luck. He's not just trying to manipulate her. He's like, hey, good luck, because he believes in it. You want these two kids. I don't know about you, I kind of want these two kids.
Oh, definitely.
All right, so as this happens, let's see. This, folks, based on montage in Act 2, and we'll just kind of bullet point the montage here. So before the montage gets kicked off here, Harley and Joker, they gear up for some holiday mischief, emphasis on mischief. Mrs. Erickson, again, we worked her in there, folks, alive. Mrs. Erickson drops by to Jay's surprise with Christmas cookies. And I always love this line here, Joker saying, the woman's gone senile, bless her heart, because it's ridiculous that she's getting on the Christmas in July, but it's oh, I like that Mrs. Erickson.
It's how did she even know about the Christmas in July thing? It's the Christmas in July thing is spread so far that the neighbors are getting in on it.
Exactly, that's exactly the idea. So she says, "I'll see you at the party, Jay." Oh, and then they go back to work, and basically we see a montage. And this is kind of like the Danny Boy montage. Essentially, we saw a lot of fun kind of shenanigans. So Harley and Joker, it's kind of Joker getting into the holiday spirit through the way the Joker could.
And of course, we have Piper Henson singing a Christmas song. In this case, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
A variation on it or something. Again, they have to change certain things legally. So it's I always love the song. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And of course, Piper Henson's a really good singer. Goes hand in hand. So they're wearing
hats. They're eating different candy canes.
They actually have
what?
They have canes that are
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. They have candy cane canes.
They're going door to door caroling. We see Howie is they're walking on the street, and Howie's following behind them, unnecessarily is decorating the streets of LA with Christmas lights and decorations.
There, Howie. Put some lights over there next to that palm tree.
Exactly, palm tree, absolutely. My favorite is that they're robbing people at gunpoint. They're basically people walking down the street, like they walk by an alley, it's like a gunpoint. They have like a little like, "Hey, come in here," and they're again without all this without dialogue. By this whole sequence without dialogue. At least in I thought I was thinking of the dialogue, all visuals while the song's going on. They're taking. They're giving they're robbing people at gunpoint to give it to the homeless and like donate to charity. And we also have a cameo from Chappie, the homeless gentleman that has been alluded to in episode 6, folks. Million views to get that episode. My money played by Bill Gundry, but that's just for the watching you fans out there. Like Bill Gundry is Chappie, maybe I don't know. So they're taking like a Christmas card image with Howie, and like throughout the sequence, like they're like he's trying to get a sip of water, and they keep like taking the water away from him. Just
they keep on taking the water away from Howie. Then they see a milk and cookie stand set up, and Howie can't even get a milk and cookie. He can't get a break.
Just slapping it out of his hand like no cookie for Santa. So then this is again where some of the ideas Tiki had definitely come into play here, where we have the you tell them about this last one.
Sure. Well, the milk and cookie stand thing, like, it's more of a Disneyland thing and less of a Southern California thing in general, so I kind of made a cheat there. But generally, I'm actually going to be visiting the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party in Disney World, and what they have is they have these milk and cookie stands set up throughout the park, and it's like, hey, free cookies if you go visit this party at the Magic Kingdom. And so I kind of worked that in there. I don't know. It's just me being a Disney.
Well, I meant the Black Friday thing, Tiki. I meant the mall thing.
What?
Mall thing, the mall.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Why don't you take it? I'm kind of...
Okay, the point. Sorry, folks. The point is they go to the mall. The last thing of the month is they go to a mall and they put like a 90% off sign in front, because you also got to imagine like 4th of July sales.
I already kind of mentioned the mall thing like earlier in the podcast. The fact that I love the idea that the Joker's favorite time of year is Black Friday, and that he absolutely relishes in it. And it's like it's his like, oh, no other time of year fills me with holiday cheer more than Black Friday.
So again, this is kind of inspired by that idea, like the Black Friday love. Just kind of put like you basically put like a 90% off sign and like in front of a store, and they set up these lawn chairs to watch people flock and like topple over each other, and they're laughing at the chaos, like they're pointing and laughing, ha ha ha. Just like ridiculous, like we're in such pain, misery. Nothing's actually 90% off. Ha. So Addison. Okay, here we go. Here's the end of Act 2, folks. So Addison, she waits outside. She waits outside of her audition. She's sitting in a chair and everything with a bunch of other prospective actors auditioning for parts, and including this one actor who is Joshua Thomas's one of his good luck cameos, played by Sam Horowitz. Basically, the bearded guy who got the ticket, and the guy who's like at the pool was like, "I needed at this specific SPF." That guy.
Right, yeah.
So he's just friendly, just kind of waving, like they're exchanging pleasantries. Oh, hi, you auditioning for the thing too? Yeah, and Addison's kind of chatting up this guy, and then he is called in by the casting director, who in our minds is played by Julian Silver.
And of course, folks, this calls back to a recent I'm sorry, it's not a recent one, but it's the actor's audition thought process.
Julian Silver
sketch.
Julian Silver played a very kind of sadistic casting director in that. He just enjoys get the power trip of being a casting director and shattering people's dreams. So it's kind of a little continuity. I like to think it's the same guy. It's the same casting director, so he gets a comeuppance. I like to think that it's
and that of course ties Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real world into the rest of the Just Giggle It cinematic universe.
Yeah, which why not? So again, it's like
we're gonna have to have Serial Mom face off against Harley Quinn and the Joker.
Well, maybe with a Halloween special.
I've always said that Serial Mom is probably the most cerebral of the Just Giggle It characters.
It's hard to beat, and Julian Silver's in that too, folks.
Yes.
So a moment passes, and basically the guy goes in, the Sam Horowitz character, he goes in, like a moment passes, and he leaves instantly weeping. Oh, my Disney shattered. Just leaves, and this concerns Addison a little bit. Meanwhile, we see Harley kind of decorating, preparing for the party. Joker finishes his stand-up. It's all coming together. As it's all coming together, we cut to the end of Act 2, where Addison walks home. We don't need to know what happened. We saw what happened with that one guy. Addison walks home utterly destroyed by that casting director. We don't even know what the guy said to her, and she's lost all of her holiday spirit. Quote the great Vera Farmiga, "It's so sad."
Sad.
Just absolutely. So again, folks, Act 3.
All right, Act 3 is going to go by fast, folks. It's basically like one big Christmas party set piece. All right. I will start it off, Dragon. So at Act 3, Joker is floating in a pool chair. It's kind of like a Killing Joke look with a Santa hat, sunglasses, sipping an umbrella drink. And he asks Howie how decorating the exterior of the apartment is going with the lights. And this is basically a cruel and pointless task to decorate all of the apartment when no one's really going to appreciate it.
And then like Joker's like lifting it. This could be like good visual stuff. I'm sure Josh Thomas or the DP could really bring to the forefront here. Is like kind of spot, like he lowers his glasses to see Carmela visiting with ice cream, a very Lifetime movie solution. He kind of lifts an eyebrow to this, and of course, it's going to pay off later with what Joker.
We probably get some bitch.
Exactly. And so Carmela, she's trying to cheer sad. I call her Sad Addison. Go all the Addison prefixes. He tries to cheer up Sad Addison with ice cream and conversation. Again, very much like a Lifetime Hallmark kind of movie of the week type solution. It's kind of adding insult to injury with it, really. So Addie, she's getting kind of dark and vengeful thinking about that casting director, and we kind of hint at.
Yeah, this is like probably the closest we come to actually like hinting at future plots for the series. So, again, kind of tread lightly and take this with a grain of salt here, folks.
I imagine that, at the end of the day, I think Addison's going to be in favor of what Harley and Joker are. That's what I think at the end of the day. But the point is, what we're hinting at the very least is that when she was in her drunken stupor in episode 4, she was remembering what they were doing. And in episode 5, she's kind of okay with how things are working out without knowing all the gory details. So I figure that, the influence, like deep down, subconsciously, she knows what's going on. On the surface, she's completely unaware, but because of that, she's becoming influenced by them. And she's kind of thinking in that dark and vengeful place, that revenge for petty things, kind of like Harley and Joker do.
Mm-hmm.
This mentality is kind of scaring her friend away. So Carmela's not going to be in the party, folks. So Carmela is kind of scared off. She kind of comes up with a fake excuse, leaving Addison, her best friend, alone. So she's kind of walking up, like comes up with things. Oh, I got to go, Addie. But feel better though, and just really scared. Like she's going to get into a dark place. Or I want to get out of here. So we're at the party.
All right. So I'm sorry.
Big party set piece. So later, it's nighttime. Begins.
The party begins. Harley Quinn surprises Joker with guests that she's invited, like Chappie
and Mrs.
Erickson. Someone that the chat has been talking about throughout the stream that I'm sure they'll be excited to see. Are you ready, chatters? Daryl!
Yeah, and Mary.
And along with Mary.
Oh, seriously, folks, I absolutely hear you. I love Daryl, and again, out of all the characters I want to see come back on Harley Quinn Joker, Daryl's at the top of that list. I kid you not.
Unfortunately, we don't have much for Daryl to do, but we do have a great callback, Dragon.
We do. I'm very proud of this callback. So,
yes.
So basically, Daryl Mary.
Can I do it?
Can you handle it?
I think I can handle it.
Okay, so Daryl and Mary walk in, and Daryl's
all right. So Joker is just so pleased to see Daryl. He's just like, "Oh, it's my best friend!" And then he rushes over, Johnny Walker. Because of course Daryl brought a bottle of Johnny Walker, and then with a bow on it, with a seasonal bow, and then he takes a pause. And Daryl!
I'm proud of this next joke here where Joker's asking, "Oh man, everybody's here. What about Danny?"
Danny's dead, Mr. J.
Right. I was just kind of channeling like a moment.
Maybe we can have like a little refrain of like, "Oh, Danny boy."
I don't know. You know what I was thinking? I kept thinking like the s'mores gag from Toy Story 2, like the whole like, you'll be huddling around a campfire eating delicious hot schmoes. They're called s'mores, Buzz. Right. That's what I was kind of thinking. All right. Anyway, so the point is everyone's having a blast. We see some holiday shenanigans going on. So as everyone but Addison at the party is having a blast here. Harley's like singing Christmas karaoke. There's a snow cone machine. There are margaritas with candy canes in them. So it's a very kind of like 4th of July meets a big time Christmas party.
All right, I'm gonna shout out Nate Productions again really quick because he's going to be doing a live stream with some hypothetical pitches himself.
Awesome.
At least probably. And I told him that's definitely a good idea, because any attention that the show gets. Also, we're getting an outcry of Danny support now.
Okay, but listen, Nate, just be sure, again, it's important, folks. Make sure you have that link to episode 5. Okay, we gotta get those views up, man. I know you guys are.
Anyways, definitely link to episode 5. But Nate says, if I'm being honest, I always wanted to see a love triangle with Joker actually love someone that isn't Harley. So that's something that he might explore in his live stream.
That's pretty. I gotta tell you, I have some ideas about that. I'd like to see what he's come up with. I really would.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Getting back to the meat and potatoes of it all here. Okay. So, Howie, here's our big meat and potatoes scene with Howie and Sad Addison. You want to do it, or should I?
Yeah, I can take it. So Howie notices Sad Addison, and he has a big heartfelt conversation. How are the numbers doing, Demona B? They're going up. They're going up. We've got a while to go, but I think we're definitely on track. I definitely think the Just Giggle It grab bag, what we've been doing every Tuesday, has been helping. So, hopefully stuff like this helps as well, and also stuff like Nate Productions doing his stream. All that stuff helps. It brings attention to the channel.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anyways, I'm sorry. So Addison reflects on how things have been going so well, but then maybe she'd been deluding herself, and how he realizes that maybe this crazy life under her nose is too good for her.
No, is good for her.
Is good for her. I'm sorry. And that bolsters her confidence a little bit.
Yeah, well, and he bolsters her confidence with a little something here, where basically he's that's like the internal realization that he's making here, that maybe I was trying to get her out of this, like maybe it's good for her though, and and how he also faces a bit of self-discovery with that, of like, what, I'm also in this life, and it's kind of brought out my potential as well, and maybe again
we get a great line, we get kind of a beautiful kind of full circle line, just how we kind of like looking out over the horizon with Addison, and he's just like, I used to be a meter maid.
I just found like a great icebreaker. I can imagine Ponce delivering the heck out of this, man. Like good dramatic. We always love the comedy of Ponce. I'm imagining a great kind of dramatic Ponce, like a not dramatic, but like a really warm delivery.
It has some emotional heft to it.
Exactly, like him, just like kind of like she's kind of like trying to like not tear up, and she's been crying in the corner, like really sad in the corner, like kind of divorced from everybody else at the party, and he's just like saying, I used to be a meter maid, and they kind of fire, and she's like, what, really, a meter maid? And again, she's kind of getting into it a little bit, and then now it's like, a meter maid, get out of here. Yep, I was a meter maid, and Jay and Harley, they made him better in a way. And again, he's not saying what exactly better at, just he kind of made me better. Again, better person than a meter maid. And and it kind of softens it with whole. And you know what? You're a great actress. I don't want anyone to tell you anything different. So again, it's good old sincere Howie. All right, and it's a real cute scene of Addison finding her spirit again. Very Farmiga-esque. Bates Motel, Norma Bates-esque. She found her spirit again. Isn't that cute?
Mm-hmm.
Found her holiday spirit, and she kind of becomes, now folks, I'm sure you're waiting for this, she becomes...
Xmas Party Addison!
Christmas party!
Peppermint schnapps all around!
Yeah. Like peppermint schnapps or peppermint shots, just peppermint theme
peppermint
drinks.
Peppermint schnapps and peppermint shots!
Yeah, so Christmas Party Addison. Of course, we've seen Party
Addison.
We've seen Party Addison. You haven't seen Christmas
Party
Party
Addison. This is the next evolution of Party Addison, folks. You're not prepared for this Party Addison.
Just great. Meanwhile, Joker is given
I'd like to think that we get like a ridiculous anime type cut where she goes like, where she's down in the dumps and then she jumps up with an ugly Christmas sweater, like she automatically, like she jump cuts into an ugly Christmas sweater.
That'd be hilarious.
All right.
So, anyway, so then we have like a little gift exchange going on here where Joker is given a new knife by Harley, because again, his one broken Act 1. He was kind of bummed out about that. So he's given a new knife by Harley, and she says, I got it from your knife guy, Raul. Of course, we name dropped him, and he was referenced in episode 2. And I imagine these guys are going to be like maybe in the gang, or at least like consult that we'll see these guys at some point. You never know. Anyway, so as Joker's just about to say, it looks like he's about to say something nice to Harley. just as he's about to, and they kind of set this up with episode 2 as well, that Harley does get kind of jealous of specifically not just of Danny Boy, but of Mrs. Erickson. Mrs. Erickson kind of swoops in right before he's about to say something nice about Harley. Mrs. Erickson gives him a gift. Mrs. Erickson, you didn't have to get me anything. Oh, come on, Jay. It's Christmas, kind of. Open it. So he opens it, and it's a squirt flower. Now, of course, folks, one of these days, I'd love to see a squirt flower in Harley Quinn the Joker. Now, whether it's just going to be like a gag, like, what do you think? It's going to be an actual acid squirt flower, or the tension of, oh my God, is it real or is it not? Is it going to be acid? You know, that whole thing. Who knows? One of these days. But the point is to kind of dance around here where, oh, Mrs. Erickson, I know just what to do with this. As in, like, oh boy, he's going to retrofit this thing to like an acid squirt flower. That's my mentality. So I know just what to do. But he says, like, thank.
What?
Real quick, he says, thank you so much. And they hug, and Harley storms off because she's really upset. And she's really upset by this. And that's going to, again, we're getting Harley in position here for a big ending. Okay.
So Joker spots Christmas party Addison having a ball with Santa Howie by the snack table. Joker walks over. He's a little impressed, but he'd never admit it. And he tells Howie to take off that ridiculous costume.
Yeah, it's like Joker's way of like kind of giving him a pat on the back because he saw like Addison was obviously upset and he's impressed that he got her out of the muck and got her basically into a Christmas party. Addison, that's an achievement. So he's like, Howie, take that ridiculous costume off. Like a little subtle moment here, where just Howie's saying,
we just kind of get it's almost like a big Joe, like a mean Joe, like thanks, boss.
Like a mean Joe Green coconut smile.
Yeah.
Like, thanks, boss. And after, so just as he removes the beard and the hat, he's about to take off this, because the guy's dying of heat stroke. Let's not be coy. I got nothing against Ponce. We love Alex Ponce. Okay, it's part of the gag. You know, it's just what he would do to Howie. He takes the beard off, takes the hat off. He bumps into Addison. He's like, she's been partying off to the side, and they kind of bump into each other. He's like, he's about to make his way to a chair or something, take the stuff off. And they realize they're under the mistletoe, and they kiss.
They kiss. Yeah, we couldn't resist.
Ain't that cute? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have our big Joker and Harley ending. I'm really proud of this. Again, folks, this is the big thing I teased at the beginning, the big kind of pages that have been teased here. I'll have to dance around this, but here we go, folks. So this is where the big X factor comes into play. So Harley Quinn stands alone. Now I don't know if the apartment has like a terrace, like a balcony, or if it's just a window. So either a window or a balcony, preferably a terrace balcony thing. The point is, they're holding snow cones. Like they both have like a red and green snow cone. Mm-hmm. Harley's standing alone. It's nighttime, and Joker walks beside her, and you can sense, like Nicole DeBois, I'm sure, could communicate this. Like a quiet contemplation and hurt is kind of felt in the scene. That Joker, again, he's not going to apologize necessarily, but he's picking up on this, and he wants to do something, but in Joker's way of kind of reassuring Harley. And a song plays, a Piper Henson cover of the song December 1969, which again, folks, I'm going to give you a big little hint here without saying it, saying exactly what this is in reference to. But in a future episode of Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the Real World, the song December 1969 will be retrofitted and sang by Piper Henson and styled and changed into 1993 as a reference to Harley Quinn's first appearance. At least in the comics, technically. 93 is when she appeared in the comics first. Animated series 92. I don't want to spoil
all the deep cuts, Dragon.
The point is, so basically it's like, you know, that song about December. Of course, it's July, December. That's kind of why we pulled that there. But then, of course, it kind of fits into the whole Arkham Origins of it all, where, you know, Joker has... we've seen stories where Joker is tied into Christmas, like Arkham Origins. So kind of a bit of that vibe throughout this, too. Anyway, meat and potatoes of the scene, folks. Forgive me. He says, you know, Harley, you had a good idea moving to L.A. Harley kind of perks up, like, oh my God, did he just pay me a compliment? and then, of course, Joker continues. After all, if he, and when he says he and his and everything, he's referring to Batman, but we're not saying it. After all, if he has his little family, his city, maybe... Joker turns his head like over the shoulder here, and we see a shot of everyone at the party, the gang, kind of his proverbial gang. You know, if he has his little family, his city, maybe this is mine. So again, he's kind of seeing maybe he can put down roots in LA. You know, maybe again, maybe I can have maybe I can have my own Bat family. I can have my own kind of lay of the land.
We kind of get like a cut to like, you know, like Addison, Howie, Daryl, you know, kind of those are the big three. But, you know, like the family is slowly forming at this point.
Like if Batman's inspiring heroism in Gotham with the Bat family and guys like Commissioner Gordon and such, perhaps in L.A., Joker's, you know, he's kind of banding together these LA crazes and kind of making kind of a family, like a sense of unity, a sense of community in LA. He's kind of being a proponent of good manners and everything in LA. Who knows? Again, he's twisting LA, but he's still kind of making an impact like Batman has on the city. Like Gotham is Batman. Gotham is this villain, that villain, et cetera, et cetera. So Harley's asking now. She's kind of forgiving him slowly, and she's saying, "So how'd your stand up go? Like how'd the stand up go?" And Joker replies, "Oh, I bombed. I need to work on my timing." So the fireworks start. And the red and green fireworks for the Christmas and the Joker of it all. They're red and green fireworks because it's 4th of July, most likely.
Of course.
And this is the big, folks, this is the huge thing I've been teasing. This is the big X Factor callback that we've teased here, where Joker asks this is a cryptic little hint at what's to come in the future, folks. Joker asks, very seriously, very kind of somberly, I guess, "Do you ever regret it?" Harley says, "What?" He says, "Going to that rundown amusement park and riding the rides." Again, let's just say it's a cryptic, and she responds, "Never." Now, this is a hint of the future because this line holds a great deal of significance for Harley and Joker, and you'll find out in a future installment only if you get it up to 1 million views, folks. That's all I can say. I don't want to spoil some of the great gifts that Joshua Thomas gave us here. So I'm just going to be real kind of polite about that. Just to say, trust me, this would be a good, like, if you know what's coming, you're going to appreciate that line even more. And it's kind of a line that speaks to it kind of speaks to, it's kind of a non sequitur of like, what the heck is Joker talking about? By the same token, you can read the emotions of the scene of like, never does she regret getting on a rundown amusement park and riding the rides, whatever that means. And of course, folks, make your own inferences. I won't confirm nor deny anything at this point. Anyway, so and we undercut the severity, like a real nice, genuine, heartfelt moment with Harley Quinn going, "And for the right answer, you get a prize." We have like this cute Harley Quinn, like, "Oh, a prize!" Like it's just, she's flipping out, she's going crazy, and Joker like gives her a gift essentially. And this is again without saying he didn't get her a gift because Joker wouldn't get her a Christmas present. He'd always screw her over on that sort of thing. But it's like he sells it as something here where if we're going to change our venue, we need to spice things up. And we reveal she unwraps it, and it's a mini sledgehammer instead of the mallet that Harley Quinn can't really bring, walk down the street with, like a mallet. So it's like a little mini sledgehammer, like she would use like a small version of the mallet, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so they kiss, and they go back to eating snow cones, like she's leaning on his shoulder as the red and green fireworks go off, and we cut the black. And as we cut the black, we hear an explosion. Yet it's the timing thing. He bombed on stage, and he was really mad about that. So he basically blew up the comedy club. That's kind of that's leave that look. Again, I know it's weak sauce, folks, but I threw it in there, and and the point is they laugh together and off screen, like again, famously we have the Hollywood sign, like ha ha ha. So it's like that nice little moment where they laugh together off screen, and we have the post credit scene.
All right, post credit scene. This will go by really fast, folks. And then, Dragon, since we've still got people saying that they don't even want this stream to end, we might stick around and do about a half hour of post-show stuff, if that's cool with you, just kind of generally doing some chit-chat. Sorry, generally doing some chit-chat.
Well, I'm absolutely
down. And everything.
We are absolutely down for that. We'll give those people shout-outs and everything. Again, whatever gets the show more attention, folks. We're absolutely down for that. But,
for sure.
Yes, anyway, post-credits. We got to get through the post-credits. So,
post-credits. So Harley Quinn and the Joker in holiday regalia find the casting director, the one who broke Addison's heart, before he leaves his office, and they confront him about not being in the holiday spirit. Yeah. And then he calls them circus fetish freaks.
Yeah. And by the way, by regalia, basically it's the image you have before you, folks. Like they're wearing Christmas hats, and again, maybe she has her hammer and everything, so it looks very intimidating. And so he's said the worst combination of things. One, not highlighting the clown of it all, and of course saying freaks, which you do not want to say. Joker has 3 triggers in this show: freak, anything other than clown, and Batman. Those were his 3 triggers, and this guy triggered 2 out of the 3. So Joker mirrors a pose, and there's a deep cut here from Batman the Animated Series. It's for my own sanity here. It's just like he bows his head, like in The Man Who Killed Batman when Harley started the lever and the kazoo music and everything. She basically, it's like a signal to her, like he bends down very stoically to cue the music on this Prince-sized boombox as a reference to '89. It's just this giant. So Harley's brought this boombox in this sledgehammer, and you think, okay, something really bad's about to happen, and Joker also is carrying a fruitcake, by the way. Harley was baking fruitcakes and figgy pudding, and he was scoffing at those things, and he's like, I don't want pudding and everything. So now he's holding a fruitcake. And the music plays, and the music, by the way, the music is Holly Jolly Christmas. Have a holly, probably like a Piper Henson rendition of Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. As this plays, we kind of homage, it's kind of Reservoir Dogs inspired a little bit here, where as this happy-go-lucky Christmas song plays, it's just showing that when the Joker's in the holiday spirit, this is kind of the horrific thing you can expect. Where basically he walks up to Julian Silver, nothing against the actor, it's the casting director, and he off-screen, he clocks him in the head with the fruitcake, and off-screen he beats the man to death while laughing throughout with a fruitcake. Again, it's off-screen to kind of undercut some of the horrific.
You made is fantastic.
Well, hold on a second. You're jumping the gun there. But as he's beating the man, he's laughing throughout, and then Reservoir Dog style, he pulls out the knife that Harley.
Right.
That Harley smelled like, oh, my presents. And again, it's kind of a bait and switch too, folks. Like you imagine the sledgehammer, but no, he's using the fruitcake of all things. And like maybe a bit of blood spatter. I don't know. It's like a little bit. Anyway, so. He pulls out this knife. You think, oh my God, he's gonna like do something horrible to a guy like Reservoir as this music's playing, and you see him again off screen. He's like stabbing the knife down, and then he basically is like sawing something off with the knife. Oh my God, what is he doing? And you reveal, again, this is very much inspired. If anyone's wondering, yes, this is a bit inspired from Arkham Origins of the game, because I really love this line where he cuts off a piece of fruitcake, he eats it, and says, "Oh, Harley, this fruitcake you made is fantastic." And we end it very simply. She's very happy. Yay!
Yay!
Like Harley did something right. Hooray!
The end.
Yeah, that's the end.
All right, folks. So let's see, Dragon. Final thoughts, then tropes, right?
Sure. I mean, well, of course we're gonna like it.
Yeah. I guess in terms of final thoughts, I can also now give the shout outs to everyone who's been involved in the chat. Of course, everyone's welcome to to stick around for the post show. But Kaylin Scott, he's been wanting the shout out, so there you go, Kaylin. Nate Productions, Demona B. Let me see here. Louise Brooks, 1920, has been on quite a bit. Thank you for your comments, Louise. Of course, Joshua Thomas himself when he was on, and I'm pretty sure those are the main ones. So we have Demona B, we have Kaylin Scott, or I was right. We have Demona B, Kaylin Scott, Louise Brooks, and Nate Productions. Thank you guys for really contributing to this conversation, really making it worthwhile. And just firing into final thoughts. I'm very happy with how this came out, and I'm especially just happy that we got an audience for it, and the audience seems very happy, Dragon. So that's all I care about. That's all my final thoughts. I don't really have anything else to add.
I mean, folks, again, I hope you really liked it. We would love to have, we can only hope that we didn't insult the show in any way with just you call that an episode? I've given you 5 episodes of gold, and this is what you do. I just hope we haven't let those guys down, because we really love this show.
It's like Poncio of all people feels that way.
I imagine the worst case. My nightmare scenario is going to be like Poncio doing like a Slinky Dog mode from Toy Story. It's like, you guys could have done it, and he just he pulls the shade down like Slink Poncio. No. I think it's the absolute worst case scenario. Which, anyways, the point is, like, folks, people are heart and soul into this. I mean, again, it's the first time we've ever done something that's actually like, it's set in July, and I'm kind of proud of it for that reason. Again, I think we did. Again, without, I would have loved to have, look, folks, I would have loved to have more details of like what's going to happen with Harley Quinn and Joker, so we could have actually done like a real proper like Christmas installment. But just working with what we have,
I think the fact that it is Christmas in July makes it unique, though, Dragon.
it does. It does. I just hope it's like not much of like a 1%er as I feared it was, because it sounds like people liked it. So I guess in the end of the day,
I definitely think people liked it. Yeah.
But yeah. So again, this is what I think. Again, I think we hinted on some direction. So again, I think it does have some merit to it. Like generally where the show might go. Again, I was really proud of I was so glad to get some kind of feedback from Joshua Thomas, especially those pages that again make me so again even if I kept thinking like how the heck am I going to get more hyped for Harley Quinn the Joker? Then he delivers these wondrous pages that lit my world on fire. Like, oh my god, we have to get this show more episodes of this show made. Oh my god. It's there's such a great take and direction of this show. I mean, we wouldn't do this, folks, if we didn't really believe in the show. We didn't love it. I mean, we've done pitches for shows that we go gaga for, like Better Call Saul and Bates Motel. But I mean, this is I love doing a good. I love character of Batman. I love the universe. I love this kind of greatest hits compilation performance with Joker and Harley, and I mean them the best of way. And it was fun to come up with, and honestly, just the ideas kind of flowed once we hit the whole like. I think it all started when I pitched that Addison idea, and then the rest of it just kind of came into focus. And I mean, the only idea I'm unsure of is that comedy. Is the stand-up thing, because that's something you have to imagine Joshua Thomas would be writing the jokes for. But again, I can't really come up with material what the Joker would write. I mean, unless you have like a Heath Ledger kind of, what the Joker finds funny 101 book, which again is amazing when he made that book and you kind of figure what that character finds funny. Unless you have that, it's really hard to write what the Joker would do for stand-up, which is something I'm eager to see on a future installment, because I'm still waiting for those things on that list from episode 2 to come to pass. This is kind of I guess in the grand scheme, this is just me kind of approximating from those 5 episodes where we would go, and let's set around Christmas ish, and just have a grand old time. But get some character development in there, get some character development. Kind of get the ball rolling on things. So it was fun, absolutely.
All right, okay, Dragon. So let's list out our tropes really quick.
Sure. And if you folks would like to, highlight any tropes, if you're still there, by all means, while we're going through them. So if we
wait. I'm sorry. Before we do our tropes, let's take a peek under the wrapping paper and tell the good folks at home what we're going to be talking about next episode of Christmas in July.
Oh, sure. If anyone's interested, tell them.
If anyone's interested, yeah, why not? Dragon, I literally forgot, so why don't you tell them?
Oh, God. Okay. So, folks, actually, we try to do a Hanukkah installment when we can, and we're doing an episode of the Goldbergs. We're doing a Star Wars holiday special installment of the Goldbergs. It's an episode from season 4. We're looking very forward to. I believe it's some prefix. It's kind of a play on Hanukkah, but with Han-Ikka or something like that. It's bound to be really fun, because we've done the Goldbergs now, because we both kind of had a very fond. We just kind of I happened upon Kevin Smith had directed an episode I had watched, and I was like, oh my god, this show shows a lot of great potential. And then we kind of did holiday episodes, and we've done it for Halloween, and we've done it for Christmas now for at least I think. Okay, I guess we did a Christmas and a Halloween. This would be our second
Christmas and a Halloween. Yeah,
this would be our second go at a Christmas episode for the Goldbergs, or Hanukkah, the holiday installment of the Goldbergs. So looking forward to that.
All right. Now let's get to the tropes.
All right, let's list them out. Let's see.
Okay. The Christmas in July unto itself is a bit of a trope.
Okay. Santa hats and Santa costumes.
Santa costumes, of course. It's the concept of a Santa party.
Sure. Let's see.
Christmas party.
A Christmas sense of community. Is people getting around for like a little party?
Sure.
Let's see.
Mistletoe, eggnog.
Certainly. Peppermint. Again, it's peppermint schnapps and like candy cane / peppermint themed drinks.
Indeed.
It's kind of a holiday heat wave. We have a holiday heat wave there because it's very hot the whole time.
Sure.
Milk and cookies with the milk and cookie stand.
Gotcha.
Holiday shopping. with the
We do
whole
have a little bit of that, yeah. Holiday reunions.
Helping the homeless around the holidays and
Oh
charity
God,
around the
yes,
holidays.
yes.
Let's see. One of my favorites. It wasn't exactly a full night. Folks, if anyone's dragons, I love to do nightmare sequences in all my pitches. Just kind of happen specifically the Christmas ones. I don't know why. It always rings true. But we kind of had like a Christmas dream at the top. The whole Jingle Bells, Batman smells. There's another trope. Jingle Bells, Batman smells. Let's see. Jingling bells. Period. We had that.
Yep.
Decoration, of course, we have direct decorations. Just I get not just holiday heat wave, but I mean, kind of a. I'm thinking almost like a Florida Christmas because we have like he's wearing he's by the pool, like we're by, like a poolside Christmas, like a poolside installment of a Christmas special maybe. We definitely have Hallmark. We have we have a Hallmark Christmas special. The coveted Christmas roll. Usually people vying for Santa, in Addison's case, vying for a part.
All right, I kind of worry like we're losing these people here with all these tropes. Can we just kind of like?
Yeah, sure. You want to wrap up then?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, again, folks, just bear with us here. Tiki, I wonder.
Don't make this like a giant soliloquy here, Dragon.
Sorry, folks, it's a running gag that you won't be privy to, but check out the other episodes. You want to see what that running gag is with this bit. Anyway, Tiki, we love going through the tropes here, and I just wish we had a name for this process. If only we had like a patented term that we had used for at least 5 years now to describe what the process is when we get to the end of these and we list up all the holiday tropes that we like to celebrate in Christmas episodes. If only we had a name for that process. You got any ideas?
Yeah, how about putting the mistletoe underneath the microscope next time on Christmas in July.
Fa la 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 la.
And post show. Woo! How you guys doing? All right. So I have my holiday Mickey with me, Dragon.
Ah, I see.
Yes. A little bit of prop humor there. All right, folks. So this post show, honestly, I don't really want it to go too long because I have work early in the morning, but we can kind of generally chit chat about Just Giggle It and whatnot for the next hour or so.
All right, Kaylin,
so, how do you guys like the pitch?
All right, I see something in the commentary. I kind of pulled it up too here. I see Kaylin Scott. She has a sorry, Kaylin. Kaylin has a. Is Kaylin? Kaylin Scott has a question. What is that question?
I would like to know myself. Okay, be honest, if I did a stream, would you all expect my Joker and other DC voices to appear? Nate, I would expect nothing less, sir. I would expect nothing less. I mean, look, I wouldn't be like disappointed if they didn't appear, but since you are hyping yourself up as a voice actor, that would be very cool to see.
Yeah, I agree with Demona B here. Absolutely, Nate. You should absolutely make this happen. I absolutely agree with that.
All right, still waiting for Kaylin's question. We'd be happy to take questions, of course. Also, importantly, Dragon, do you want to set up what we're doing for season 3 of the Just Giggle It grab bag? I've kind of been trying to stoke the fires of that.
Absolutely. So, folks, season 3 of the Just Giggle It grab bag will be fan requests. Entire the fan requests. So far, we have 5 requested episodes, and the season will be as long as we be getting fan requests by the time we start. But even if we're kind of halfway through it, if we get more requests, we'll add it to the pyre. That's kind of what we'll be doing. And again, folks, so far it's 5. Just if you would love to throw out any suggestions here, we will absolutely do. We'll give you shout outs. We'll give you the whole 9 yards, the star treatment, if you will. We'd love to, kind of give you credit for, oh my God, we're talking about this Just Giggle It sketch because this person said so. Yeah.
Okay, my question is that in one of your episodes, if you can add poison ivy. Okay, so Kaylin, the reason why we didn't add poison ivy is just because we didn't really feel comfortable doing that without seeing what Joshua Thomas's interpretation of the character was going to be like. And of course, as you saw in the actual pitch, we have all the Batman stuff, but we kind of skirt around it a little bit, right? Like it's there, but it's almost kind of like, you know, we kind of just like, okay, like we mention a family, we mention like him, you know, we kind of have an allusion to the Jingle Bells Batman Smells thing, but we never directly mention Batman. And that's a tradition that I feel like we kind of need to stick to. And so far, Dragon, correct me if I'm wrong here, it sounds like episode 7 is when Just Giggle It is planning on introducing Poison Ivy, if we are so lucky to get that far into the series.
Yeah, sure. I can absolutely. Let me feel this one here because Poison Ivy. There was one script page that is on the community page. I recommend people check out along with watching episode 5. You'll notice that Ivy has a scene with the Joker, and we kind of have like that. We intimate kind of the classic, Joker and Poison Ivy animosity. They're kind of messing with each other, and that's kind of all we had with reference with Poison Ivy so far. And we don't really know exactly if she's going to be like a guest role here and there, if she's going to be a main fixture, and that's one of the main reasons we didn't include her. However, I did contemplate a reference with her. I contemplated having her like kind of having grown the mistletoe, and maybe at the end she would have like grown some mistletoe on top of Joker and Harley's head, and then Harley would have like gave her a thumbs up like off screen. I contemplated that, but at the end of the day, just can't. It kind of defeated the point of what Joker and Harley were saying, that they're trying to kind of move past Gotham. So that's why I kind of opted not to kind of work that in there.
Tiki also hyping up Nate Productions. He said he would only have 3 points for the stream: my overall thoughts, my little gripes, and my ideas. And I've got lots of ideas. Nate, like everyone's saying, man, do it. I'd definitely be there for that. I'd be in the chat. I'd be discussing along. I'd be very much into it for sure.
Nate, you give us like a heads up, and we will be there, man. We will just we'll watch it. We'll be there. We'll comment. You'll be there. Welcome, because we love talking about Harley Quinn, the Joker. It's like there's no tomorrow. It's great. Alan Scott likes your Stitch shirt, Tiki.
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry, I think there's a little bit of a lag on the video, so like right now I'm doing a full view of it, but you might not see it until later. But there it is. There's a full view. Yeah, I love this Stitch shirt as well. I have a little bit of a stutter going on here, folks, as you might have noticed in a couple spots on the podcast. I try and work with it as best I can.
Again, folks, even if you've already made a suggestion, you could always make another one for like an episode of a video from Just Giggle It you'd like us to kind of recap on the grab bag. By all means, we'll take it down. We'll get the name and everything. We'll shout you out. Just a little helpful reminder. That's all. No pressure.
I'm actually kind of curious. I'm going to float this out there. Anyone in the chat right now watching or has watched Watching You? Because Watching You is very much kind of the predecessor to Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the Real World in a lot of ways. It was Joshua Thomas's first web series. It was very much serialized in nature. Of course, it was meant to be What's Up There Now is meant to be the pilot episode. But, it's kind of broken up into 7 parts to kind of be a season. But Watching You is very high concept. So I would recommend anyone who's a fan of Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the Real World, give that a watch. There's a playlist on the Just Giggle It channel.
Yes,
says ooh yes to Watching You.
Real quick, just to kind of recap a little here. Yes, Demona, there is an episode 7. The folks at Just Giggle It, they have Joshua Thomas. They have a number of episodes scripted out, 6 and 7. At the very least, I know 6 is scripted out. 7, I believe, is also in the can just because they had scripted out. I don't believe they've shot it yet. I think they're raring to shoot it, and I think they're all primed and ready. I can't absolutely confirm that, but I know they actually have plans. Like there's like a full season in place with these guys. I don't know how long that season is. I just know they have ideas and everything. So yes, we get that view count up. We're golden with that. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Louise Brooks 1920 says yes. I loved Watching You.
There was a development of Watching You real quick, Dave. Sorry, I hate to cut you off, but real quick, this is important. They did a fun, the Xerxes thing. Did you see the Xerxes thing?
Yes, I did see the Xerxes thing.
I haven't watched it because I want to get to the end of Watching You before I see that, just in case we have another thing with Xerxes, so I don't kind of get spoiled on it. But I don't think it's really a risk of being spoiled, so I still recommend people um, watch it. But yes, Watching You. There's been a lot of talk about Watching You, and perhaps if that also gets kind of some attention, they might be coming back with more episodes of Watching You. Not because right now the 7 that we have are all part of like one big pilot, and the rest would be kind of like standalone episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be awesome.
I'm gonna go to Nate's comment, but before I do that, I'm gonna throw out just because I'm kind of curious and to get the discussion on Watching You. What are you guys' favorite moments and episodes of Watching You? For me, particular, it was episode 3 was the big death episode, right? Dragon. It was episode 3 or 4.
It was 4, Tiki.
Yeah, 4. Episode 4. My God, that one really got to me. Okay.
All right, so Nate.
Yeah, Nate Production says, "What if Crystal falls in love with Joker and she causes the love triangle we all want?" I definitely think that's a possibility. I definitely think that's on the table because of what we saw set up with Crystal beforehand.
Well, the point is, Crystal's not officially dead yet. Again, I'm thinking she's going to die because Howie's in a position where it was like, kill Crystal or you die. And the one page that we had revealed from episode 6 is like the post phone call where Howie, either he's lying or he has killed Crystal. We don't know if he's lying, though, because he could just be delaying the inevitable before they realize Crystal's alive and Howie might be on the chopping block. Now, looking at it that way, if Crystal's alive, I can imagine her going crazy and becoming a little, again, maybe really her revenge would be she's going after Joker. I'm in the mindset of I don't believe Crystal's going to be in a relationship or like, again, I think she's going to be dead. That's why I don't think she's in a relationship. But so I'm not, personally, in my own opinion, like, I don't think it's going to happen. But Nate, by all means, I could see it if she's alive.
I definitely, at the very least, think there has been some setup for it. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was reading a different comment. My apologies. Lisa. I'm sorry, Louise. I don't want to say Louisa. Louise Brooks, 1920. I really wanted to see what would happen in Watching You after the ending. I was so curious, and there's so many fun places to go. I'm sure there is. I'm sure it is a great.
All right.
series.
Well, keep in mind, folks. Dragon and I, we've been going through Watching You each.
We're going in clean on. I know, folks, it is one big pilot, so what's the harm in watching them all? But we're taking them kind of installment by installment out of the 7. I've seen 6. Tiki hasn't yet, but
not yet. No.
But after 7, that's when we're gonna be all spoilers for Watching You. So be appreciative we didn't get that spoiled. But I mean, you're your own people. I wouldn't do. I quote Morty from Rick and Morty a bit there. Be your own person.
God.
But yeah, so Caitlin, absolutely. Again, we all thought that Harley killed Crystal. But that's the thing. Crystal survived. She's in a coma. That's what they talked about in episode 5. And the mind-bending thing is that, and this is the thing I kept geeking out about, and I kind of got, I think it was somewhat confirmed by JustGiggleIt, that we had that pool scene in episode 5. Where, again, I highly recommend everybody check out. There's a pool scene in episode 5 where Carmela basically reveals the very soap opera plot point that Crystal is alive and she's in a coma. And we have Joshua Thomas's good luck charm in kind of like a fourth wall meta way off to the side saying, "This is ridiculous," and talking about sunscreen. But again, we know exactly what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm. Also, JustGiggleIt just popped back up into the chat. Hey guys, how you doing? Just so you guys know, we decided to extend this. Like, we're done with the pitch, and we kind of did a sign-off for the pitch and everything. And I'm going to put a time code in the video description, because this is basically just a post-show. This is kind of just like a general chit-chat hangout. We're just kind of throwing out some ideas for the Just Giggle It grab bag. We're throwing out our favorite moments, our favorite episodes. Yeah.
Ooh, not the DP's named after Daryl Delaney. That makes so much sense. That's all. Sorry, just giggles kind of blowing my mind here with some Daryl fun facts. Yeah, very nice. Just I think they were making a joke about saving the chat. I don't know if that's an actual feature, Tiki. If not, if it is,
I'm pretty sure I could. If anything else, I could probably just copy and paste the whole thing. Honestly,
that'd be a nice little kind of like scrapbooking.
Yeah.
And oh my god, JustGiggleIt, they're amazing. They're saying we're amazing. They're thanking. It's like, oh my god, folks, we don't have to cast any stones of pride. I just want to say, oh my god, thanking us. We're thanking you, JustGiggleIt, for making this amazing show and doing all the great things that you do on your channel. I mean, we can't say enough nice things about these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Darn right, Easter eggs. Yeah. I'm just reading the comments as they come through. I don't know if it's going to be like a weird delay thing or what.
All right.
Caitlin, can you be a little bit more specific about the math book? I'm not entirely sure what that means. Off the top of my head, at least. The DP was Ash Ketchum.
Okay, I have kind of a fun thing that maybe the chat might want to hypothesize on, Dragon.
Okay.
Okay, imagine this. Of course, since this is first and foremost an Imagineering channel, and we don't do enough Imagineering on the channel anymore. So, what if Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real world was a theme park ride? What would that be like?
Oh God. Oh, I'm sorry, Caitlin. So yeah, Caitlin, why was the math book so sad? I'm just reading kind of Caitlin just tell me like, that joke, you dope. Why didn't you read it as a joke? Which I should. I'm genuinely curious because math is a very scary thing. We need to make math funnier.
All right, so yes, I guess, Dragon, do you want to throw out ideas for a Harley Quinn and the Joker theme park ride?
In a moment, because right now I want to shout out Nate Productions. Nate Productions is saying that his stream might possibly happen Friday. Which, again, if it's happening Friday, I'll definitely be there. I'll be on the lookout on Nate Productions channel. If we get like a time approximation, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, Friday I should be pretty free as well. So, all right, cool. Okay, so if we were to do a Harley Quinn and the Joker, what?
I'm reading Caitlin's Joker because it had so many problems. Oh yeah, so Demona has a great response to your query, Tiki. Demona says if there was a Harley Quinn and Joker versus the real world theme park, it would make you sick and scar you for life.
Yeah, could be. Well, okay, here's the thing. I'd like them to go meta with it, and I'd like them to like actually take over some weird like side of the road tourist trap spot in LA.
That'd be interesting.
Like, I don't know. Let's say they take over the Ripley's Believe It or Not museum just for shits and giggles.
I'm gonna pitch you this, Tiki, and of course you're far more the Imagineer than I am, but I do have an idea. Just kind of crossed my mind. What if Howie did like that superstar celebrity limo ride from Disney, but it was with Howie?
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought that'd be kind of funny. Basically, like a cheesy ride like that, but have like Joker and Harley being chauffeured around with him.
And Joker's just like verbally abusing Howie the whole time, like, you took a wrong turn, Howie.
Yeah, and that would get us all these weird twists and turns along the ride, perhaps.
God.
Okay, Nate Productions. Have you all seen my character interviews? Joker and Harley Quinn versus the real world. Just wondering. No, I'm definitely going to look.
No,
into that.
I haven't.
That sounds awesome. I want to look into that big time.
And it would use smells. Yes, we need smells on this ride, of course. Gunpowder, maybe the smell of blood, kind of like that silvery smell that blood has.
Yep. Kind of like a John Peters approach it, like, you want to taste the blood, man.
God.
JustGiggleIt. I just want to give him a quick shout out here for this is a new feature that JustGiggleIt's been doing, folks. It's far more cool than what we're kind of doing. Don't worry, this is fun, folks. What I'm saying, JustGiggleIt, they're doing it right here, where they're doing this little Ask JustGiggleIt. These new videos, like these short videos, where they read the comments section and they essentially, like they read. I don't know if they're going to extend to comments and questions, but at least so far they're reading questions and they're kind of answering kind of the fans' kind of lifelong questions each video. Like you go down in the comments, your comment might be in the next Ask JustGiggleIt. So check that out too, folks. But again, paramount thing to check out, episode 5.
Mm-hmm.
Joker vs. the Real World, now called The Next Generation.
Purple smoke. Yes, purple smoke. Definitely get some fog machines in there. Get some purple food coloring, and then you're talking.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. We might have. I think we have an approximation. Maybe 11 p.m. for the stream.
11 p.m. Importantly, though, is that Eastern time or Pacific time?
That's the big question in life.
It really is. Trust us. When I'm on the West Coast, Dragon's on the East Coast. It is the big question in life.
Absolutely right, Louise Brooks, 1920. Yes, those the Ask Just Giggle It videos have been very fun lately, and I absolutely I can't wait to see more. I'm pretty much acting like a parrot right now, just saying what our commenters are saying. But I mean, I think it's worth merit. You know, I think it's like, yeah, she's Louise is speaking the truth here. We gotta celebrate that. I was on this. Just Giggle It. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm sorry, Nate. I kind of blanked on that because that was the basically where our Harley Quinn Joker proximity to Gotham question. That was like the whole they basically, why does no one recognize Joker and Harley Quinn on the street? That was that question, I believe. Does know anything about time zones? I don't know. Maybe
do you want to explain time zones to Nate Productions, Dragon?
I'm no expert, Nate, but essentially, what I'd recommend is like you go to Google and just it's either Pacific Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time, and just kind of approximate
or Central Standard Time.
That too. And then basically just you convert it and kind of tell the folks like when it would be where you are. Like look, I don't want to pry, Nate. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to. I mean, if you can give us like an approximation of like maybe like state-wise where you are, if you feel comfortable with that. I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to twist your arm here. Just I don't know.
Like if you're on the West Coast, like California, Oregon, Nevada, Washington, Arizona, those kind of states, then you're on the West Coast. If you're central would be, help me out here, Dragon. Like, I believe Minneapolis would be central.
I think you're right. I think that is right. Of course, geography is not our strong suit either, folks. It's better than math, but not our strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Best of luck with that, Nate. But the point is, well, on Friday I'll be keeping my eyes peeled. Seeing like again if they have like one of those things that announce like when the hangout's going to start, and I'll be keep my eyes peeled. That'll approximate like when the things for me Eastern time. That'll basically hour differences. That's kind of the gist of that.
He's Eastern Standard Time. Okay, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard. Thank you, Nate. All right.
Okay. That's worst one there. So again, 11 Eastern, then basically the time we kind of approximately started this thing. Okay, so that helps us. That's nice. Okay, Kaylin Scott. Guess what?
What?
Now, folks, this is the part where we have to. It's the waiting game part, but it's going to be worth it, I'm sure. I'm not saying it's sardonical. I'm sure like Kaylin Scott is a bright commenter at Kaylin Scott. Again, not. I swear again, I'm not saying that facetiously.
You want to add anything else to the ride? Demona B says, and it has to at least look kind of unsafe, as if someone could push you down.
I know what I'd like it to be, honestly. I want it to be like you're on a tour, and then we kind of do this almost like the Timon and Pumbaa like virtual safari thing, or something's going haywire, or like the great movie. Oh my god, the great movie.
The Timon and Pumbaa virtual safari. Now that's a deep cut, Dragon.
Let's say, okay, I'm gonna throw this out there. Let's say you're on the ride, and it's like a tour through. Again, it's kind of like the Superstar limo thing. It's kind of a tour, and then basically you have like rival gangs really opening up gunfire, and it's like it turns into a wild chase. So it's very unsafe. Kind of like the Joker's Millions episode. I mean, I'm reaching the things. Tiki doesn't know this quite yet, folks. I'm educating him in another show that we do called The Animated Batcave, where he watches episodes of Batman the Animated Series for the first time.
Oh, so now you're calling me out on not watching all of the animated Bat.
He's making strides, though, folks. He's making strides, though. We're gonna get this young buck caught up. Don't you worry.
All right.
We'll get him there. Oh, Nate might sing. Okay, well, I hope you're good, Nate. I'll take benefit of that. I think I'll say you will be.
Okay, Just Giggle It says the Harley Quinn and Joker versus Real World ride would be escaping Gotham, heading to Hollywood, your cohorts to Gotham, trying to stop you, and characters like Howie and Daryl shooting them down. God.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing. Specifically, I think what Jessica was saying here is oh my god, I love the story of this ride, T. Because again, you're escaping from Gotham and heading to Hollywood, and and basically the Rogues Gallery are trying to stop you, like the Two Face and maybe Two Face ventriloquist. I don't know, like a number of of Batman villains are trying to stop you as you're trying to make progress, as you're trying to get away Gotham. And this kind of fills kind of that story for people. Like, what was it like when they were making the transition from point A to point B? Maybe they were kind of met with some skepticism. Maybe Penguin was trying to was trying to settle like a debt because sometimes Penguin hates the Joker. Sometimes like there's kind of like a grudging respect. I don't know. Maybe it's a debt thing. I don't know. Sounds very interesting. Had to get a shot. Oh, though, because Caitlin's guys basically he had a rough day today, and we made it a little better. That makes me feel kind of good.
Yeah, thanks, Caitlin. Anything to do to help, man. Trust me, I get bad days. Trust me, I totally get that. Okay, Dragon, I have one more thing to kind of keep the gas running on this thing.
Sure.
And of course, we're also relying on comments to keep the gas running on it.
Sure.
Video games, Dragon.
Video games.
We have to talk about... Okay, hold on.
Oh, God, this thing.
Yes, this thing, Dragon.
Yes. So, folks, Tiki's a very big advocate of the Nintendo Switch. Is that correct?
Yes. Okay, so see all these glorious games that I have in my collection, Dragon. I know it's a little hard to see because the screen's
now we're just
bright.
getting desperate, but okay.
But yeah, I'm getting desperate. But see all these glorious games. Dragon, could you imagine if among these glorious games was a Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real world game?
I'm going to raise you that. I'm going to say, how would a Harley Quinn versus Harley Quinn the Joker versus the real world Telltale game go?
You know what? Screw Telltale games. I want an open world Grand Theft Auto style Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real world game.
And not the bash Telltale, but that does sound like a really good idea.
Just picture it like you're Joker, and of course people are gonna like react to you as they would, and you're just going around. You have to recruit people. It's like an open world sandbox style game through LA. You would go to the different locations like Hollywood Boulevard and Santa Monica, and just all around. It'd be this giant sandbox, and of course we'd have someone like Rockstar working on it because Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real world is an awesome show, and we need nothing but the best of talent working on this thing. Yeah.
Oh, Demona, it took Demona 7 months to see this. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed by that.
Nice.
I hope it's been worth it. Believe me, I know something about waiting. I had to wait 7 years for Deadpool, so I'm sympathetic with you on the benefits of waiting.
Yeah, Dragon, and of course I had to wait. Let's see, like the original Jurassic Park came out in 1993. Jurassic World came out in 2015. I'm bad at math, Dragon. How many years is that? Like 22, something like that.
Let's see, 3, 9, 4, 8 years. 8, like 18. I don't know. I guess it's roughly 20 years. Oh, since Jurassic 3, right?
I'm sorry. There's someone like creepily looking through my window at me, and I'm just like, what the hell are you doing? I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was on camera. Yeah, something like that. Okay, point being, I was very stoked for Jurassic World because of the whole idea of the theme park. Like, I loved the idea of the fully realized theme park, and then, of course, it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Oh, hey, Tiki, you got to read this here. Folks at Just Giggle It. They're Daryl. I presume Daryl the DP. I'd love it if we were Daryl the actor. Let's just say Daryl the DP. Daryl and I assume Joshua Thomas might be Ponzu. I don't know.
Currently playing Fortnite on Switch right now.
Yep.
Guys, I could technically like like, I don't know exactly how to join battles and stuff, but I have Fortnite on Switch. I could technically join you. Although I'm a novice at that. We want to talk Switch. If we want to talk Switch, okay, I'm curious. Is anyone in the chat here down for some motherfucking Switch talk tonight?
Oh, come
Because
on.
I can do it. I can do it.
You know, we should really promote the show a little bit here.
I'm saying, if you want me to get into Switch, I can get into Switch.
Okay, but before we get into Switch, okay, let me throw something out here, folks. Two things. One, some relevant stuff before we get to Switch talk. One, again, folks, any suggestions for the grab bag, we will we'll do it. We'll talk. We'll add it to the season 3 roster. We're only like 2 episodes away from finishing watching you, and then we'll start season 3. We'll be going through recapping episodes of Just Giggle It. And then after also another thing to plug, you can just put them in the comments. You know, we'll shout you out. We'll give you all the credit in the world. We'll do that. Other thing, this kind of something current, this thing newsworthy, and also something that you guys can partake in by all means. Tomorrow, at least ideally this coming week, ideally tomorrow, we will be recapping San Diego Comic-Con. Is there anything you guys are really excited to?
Oh yes, of course. Why haven't we thought of this? Yeah, fuck Switch. Like, we can talk about Switch anytime. And Joshua Thomas just dropped his Switch handle, so I'm gonna go ahead and add Joshua right now. My handle on it is Cosmic Ray. Yes, that is a reference to Disney World.
It'd be hilarious if this is Piper Henson, you manning the Just Giggle It channel, and just her username on Switch.
Oh, that would be so embarrassing. Oh my god.
That would be hilarious, though. Oh, no, I'm gonna can't say. Well, folks, if I mention Piper, I'm gonna say like a billion nice things about her. I don't think that we're gonna be here till the sun rises. But seriously, anything you guys want to hear us talk about?
Comic-Con. I think Comic-Con, like, that should be the subject that we kind of end out with, and then we can kind of call it a night. But Dragon, honestly, to kind of tease our Comic-Con podcast, because we will be doing a Comic-Con recap tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Dragon, I think this is honestly one of the best collections of Comic-Con trailers we've gotten in years.
Yeah, and there's footage I'm dying to see. Like, I saw like a very brief snippet of Wonder Woman footage that just tantalized me so much. And folks, I'm so sold on the new Wonder Woman movie. It's set in the 80s. Why they didn't do the 70s? I'm sure there's a reason. I don't know. But the point is, everything I'm seeing, just kind of Wonder Woman and more. My dream with Wonder Woman has always been to see her. Like, we always see her like as the Amazon on the island, or fighting monsters and gods and everything. That's cool. That's fine. But I want to see a Wonder Woman in a city. Darn it! I want to see her fighting crime and being an icon and everything. And that's what this next one's gonna be. And Just Giggle, absolutely. Shazam also looks really awesome.
Yeah, Shazam was definitely a highlight of Comic-Con for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be that was great.
Nate says he has to go find a best place to live stream. Nate, I would recommend Google Hangouts, but that's just me. Google Hangouts we've been using consistently for over 5 years, and it has a host of problems that come with it, but I think it's got a host of problems that are easily worked around. I feel like it's one of the more user-friendly podcasting devices out there.
All
right.
Let's see.
Dragon, okay, of course, we'll talk about this more on the podcast, but you know me, one of my big trailers, guess, I want you to guess, Dragon. I want you to, I want to see how well you know me. What trailer blew me away at Comic-Con?
Well, there was something, there was a new development. I don't know if you know about this, Tiki. There was something that's easily going to blow your mind. There was a Steven Universe announcement.
I heard about this, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking specifically about a trailer.
Okay, I think I know what it is. It's Godzilla.
Of course.
Godzilla, what is it? King of all monsters?
King of the monsters. Godzilla, folks, I was famously hyped about the first Godzilla movie based on the trailer. So look, just because I love the Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer based solely on Vera Farmiga, because Dragon and I have this this crazy, borderline unhealthy love affair with Vera Farmiga.
You say unhealthy, I say passionate. I keep thinking, it's like I was going to give a ridiculous comparison.
Oh, he means location where he has to. Okay, sorry, Nate. Yeah, by all means, you can figure that stuff out for sure.
It's like in some bizarre fantasy life. It's like you almost like you want to like interchange words of a Disney song with Vera Farmiga. She's just that wonderful, you know. It's like that Katrina song from Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Oh God. All right.
Little coquette Farmiga.
Oh, and Aquaman, surprisingly, Aquaman looks on point.
The beginning did exactly what I wanted it to do. Just to touch on that a little bit, you know, the whole lighthouse keeper things is what I wanted to see, and that's what I heard Momoa was he was prepped and ready for with Justice League, and that's kind of fitting into the Jeff Johns direction. I wanted to see that taken in, so I'm very excited and looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Aquaman, but I'm really sold, and the one I'm most hyped for, not counting Wonder Woman, of the trailers that we got is probably Shazam. And I've been championing Shazam. I have a good feeling about Shazam as the costume and everything, and Zach Levi, the whole thing. And that again, it's like it's big as it's big as a superhero. And it's kind of bringing levity.
And of course, I just saw Big at a Fathom event about a week ago, so that movie's very fresh in my head.
Sure, I'm definitely looking forward to Shazam. I'm hoping I can find some of that Wonder Woman footage, or at least I hope. Why can't they have the sense that people are going to watch it saying, why can't we just I can't be like when they leaked the Suicide Squad footage and it's like, okay, we'll now have the trailers online. Happy? Why can't they do that? Like with Wonder Woman and with Venom, and you're like, I'm not that I'm looking super forward to it, but the It sequel, they had some footage of that too.
Mm-hmm. And The Walking Dead. Did you watch The Walking Dead season 9 trailer, Dragon?
No, Tiki, but I had one of those. But I was watching Preacher tonight. And I had one of those things, but before Preacher came on, I just caught like a repeat of The Walking Dead, and I always happened upon The Walking Dead once with Negan.
Wait, did you watch a whole episode?
No, I didn't watch a whole episode. I watched like the end of an episode.
Oh, okay.
And it was, I think it was one of the famous things with Negan, or it's like basically he lines them all up and he's like scaring the crap out of them.
Oh yeah, that's an iconic Negan scene. Anyone who knows watching Walking Dead knows that scene, sure.
Of course, and that Walking Dead is relevant to Just Giggle. Of course, they had the previously in the Walking.
You smell, Rick. All right.
I was thinking of, I think Honest Trailers.
Dragon, I really think it was that moment that made me fall in love with Poncio.
Oh, yeah, Poncio is just such a...
Then we had a great respect for Poncio, but after that I was like, okay, I freaking love Poncio.
Poncio's acting was so good, he made a really ridiculous fart joke. Perfect. He really did. Because I was, A Quiet Place has been on my mind recently, because I think Honest Trailers I haven't watched the video, but I think they did something on it. And I was thinking, every time I see A Quiet Place, I'm not thinking of the movie. I'm thinking of the Just Giggle It sketch, because it was so hilarious, and I love how they had the impact. And, oh, hello, Caitlin's good. And they had the impact of just like, I know it was like just a kid eating, but by the same token, I was ready like kind of a suicidal emotion. I can't take anymore. It's the desperation on the man's face of I'm gonna eat these beans to end my own existence with sound because I'm starving and I can't take it anymore. That's what I read in his face in that performance, and I know it might just be my own interpretation of that, but I love that so much.
Oh yeah,
Conte communicated so much with so little in a way.
Okay, Dragon, I'm pretty sure this stream is kind of coming to its natural end. If anyone has any last-minute topics they want to get out, let me know. Kaylin, I'm sorry for kind of ending things as soon as you're getting back. But I feel like kind of just, I feel like I like to, I pride myself on knowing when to end things, and I feel like we've kind of ran the gambit on things to talk about.
Oh, Tiki, you did, Joshua Thomas, he sent you something about he told you to add him on. I'm sorry, I'm going over an old comment. My bad. Sorry, I was just making sure we got everything. You got it already.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Kaylin, by all means, you get just so you don't get the short end of the totem pole here. By all means, we'll hit you first with anything you'd like us to talk about or say.
He says, okay, it's fine. All right. And I guess the next Just Giggle It grab bag, do you want to tease that, Dragon?
I think they know what it's going to be, but I'll tell them. Yes, folks, so the next installment of the Just Giggle It grab bag, of course, will be another installment of Watching You. Watching You, episode 6, which I have watched. Tiki will, and by the time we talk about it, and I tell you, it's I'm going to tease it here. It's short. It's really short. Really short, but it's something big happens. A little short, something big happens, and I think it's very well done. Of course, it sounds like a broken record. Like, aren't they all well done? Not episode 2. No, I'm kidding. But they're all well done. They're all part of a grand cohesive whole, so it's a no-brainer. They're all going to be good.
Okay, cool. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and go down the list one more time. Thank you to Louise Brooks 1920. Thank you to Kaylin Scott. Thank you to Nate Productions. Thank you to Damona B. And of course, thank you to Just Giggle It for being on the chat with us, hanging out. And also thank you to the people that have been watching live this whole time that might not have been participating in the chat. Big shout out to you guys as well. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to do more Just Giggle It content with you guys and build this Just Giggle It community. See you later, folks.